All right, how's it going, everyone? You guys haven't gotten an update in a little bit. I think it's been maybe about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks since you guys have gotten a demo. There's a lot of things that have been happening with the system since then, and we're trying to go live very soon. Currently, what we're working on is trying to get licensing working. Guys, I know it sucks. I know, everyone wants stuff for free, but for this system to grow, for this product and this team to grow, we do need revenue. But for our early adopters, those 8 subscribers, but hopefully more, let's shoot for 100, that are following us on our YouTube channel and following us through social media, hey, if you guys are early adopters and you want to spin up more than one agent and do agent to agent communication, we'll give you guys a pretty good discount, and we'll try to keep those discounts rolling as long as we can, right? We want this product to survive. We want it to do well. We've been pouring a lot of hard work into it. We want to bring really cool projects value, really cool projects you guys are working on. We want y'all's digital dreams to come true, but we want it using our software as well, right? So I've been trying to figure out how to get license generation to work through our website. I mean, it already works locally. We've already tested it. You guys saw a demo with it, but we want it to work online. We want it to work through a cloud system. So as soon as you guys go ahead and pay for your subscription, you have a license that drops in, and boom, you can use it on a closed environment. You don't have to be on the internet, right? That's what we want to do. But while I've been trying to figure out all that boring crap, Ruben here, one of our co-founders, I don't think you guys have ever heard him on a recording, so you're going to hear him for the first time. Ruben here has actually been doing some recordings for you guys, but we've been going back and forth they have music and they're fun, but we're like, will our users really understand what they're seeing? So we wanted to kind of have Ruben show me some of the work he's been doing. So I haven't seen the full set of the capabilities he's added, but he's working on agent-to-agent communication. Guys, I mean, there are committees working right now trying to figure out formats for agent-to-agent communication. What Ruben and I have been talking about is we're not going to wait for them. Let's get something going, and if there's some widely accepted format in the future that is best practice, we'll adopt. But for now, we're going to push the needle. We want to go, and you guys can be the ones that adopt this early agent-to-agent communication scheme, because guess what? This may win because we're faster. I don't know. So, hey, Ruben, you want to just give a brief 30 to 45 seconds of agent-to-agent communication and what you've been working on?
Sure. What I've been working on is getting agents to pass the prompts to each other, so that way you don't have one agent, you give a prompt to it, and then you have to go to another one, give it a prompt, do copy paste. You can just say in a single prompt, I'm going to tell you this thing to do, you give a response, and then I want you to pass it off to the other agent directly, and it give its response. So that way you can start to link these together and pass along the information, and they get to work based off of that context without you having to almost handhold them in every single little prompt. So that way it's completely streamlined from what you tell it from the very beginning.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. So thanks for that overview. So what I want to do now is, with the agent-to-agent communication that you've been setting up, I want you to talk me through it. I don't even know what your idea is going to be. I know we talked and you said you have an idea. I want you to kind of talk me through it and set up an actual agent communication network right now on Squadron AI. Do you think you can help me with that?
Sure.
All right. Let's get started.
Okay. So what I'm thinking is something that can be used almost on a day-to-day basis, something simple,
okay,
which, for example, is meal prepping, as a lot of people do that, and
I did it
one
today.
of those things where yeah, and I did it today. One thing that I always struggle with is, what do I want to make? Mm-hmm. And it's usually, I want to stay on a certain diet, I want to stay within a certain nutritional restrictions, but I just get kind of tired of the same thing. So I thought of, I can probably create an agent and another agent that will help me construct that for a meal that I can probably make and prep on a certain day. So what we're going to do is going to create 2 agents that do that.
Okay.
The first one will give you a suggestion, and then it will hand off to the other one that information, and then say, give me the recipe for us to do this.
Okay, sweet. All right, so would you like me to recruit a new agent?
Yes, so we can start by recruiting the first agent.
Okay.
And we can call it waiter, and maybe that it's the meal suggestion handler for its role. And we can tell it that what it will do is that its orders are to give meals suggestions based off of dietary inputs.
And just to be clear, do you want to use the model Dolphin?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm going to create agent.
Yep.
Oh, and look at that. So something our viewers don't know right now is this. Oh no, never mind. So it was real responsive for a second, and then it wasn't. Okay, so the viewers may be confused. So there is a known issue currently in this current build where when you create a new agent, there's a slight freeze. So Ruben, I thought you fixed this, but it's not fixed in this build, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Not yet. It worked in the other build.
Sweet. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and create another agent. We're not going to edit that out. We're just going to keep going.
Okay. So for the second agent, we create a second one, and we're going to call it Cook because it's going to be handling the recipes. That's a simple name for it, and we'll call it the recipe handler that's its role in this chain. And then we can say provide recipes for suggested meals. We'll keep it Dolphin also.
All right. Sweet. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. So that's a new feature that Ruben added to the UI. So he doesn't tend to do he didn't tend to do a lot of UI work, but he definitely is now. So one thing that was super annoying is like these guys would go on top of each other. So he inserted like a cool little algorithm that would kind of swift these by. So it's just a quality of life feature. Like it might not be a big deal, but it looks really cool, and it's very useful because like you don't have to. There were times where I was like, oh man, I didn't like. Is there only one agent? But now there's two. Okay, cool. So I have my cook, I have my waiter. What do I do?
Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to tell the waiter what we wanted to do and what we wanted to pass on to Cook. And how we're going to do that is pass along the prompt original to it so it knows what to do and respond. And then we're going to give it a tag that will indicate what's going to happen next and to whom it's going to go to specifically. And what follows would be its prompt, and everything else will be kind of the context that will be passed along so it knows what it needs to do. So for this prompt for waiter, we can tell it, can you give me a meal suggestion for lunch that contains either fish or chicken? So.
And to be clear, so I just typed that in. I typed in, can you give me a meal suggestion for lunch that contains fish or chicken? Now, something that's going to happen is not going to be in the final product, correct? Like, we're going to kind of command the waiter to have a conversation with the cook. But in the future, we're going to be able to draw relationships. That's the plan that we're going to implement.
Yes.
Okay, but that's not in this build. Like, we're just kind of demoing this more R&D. Like, we wanted to see, can we do this?
Yes, and how we would do it, or how we would build into being able to use like more natural language. Because what we'll do now is that you ask it that first question, and the next part is what you would do is you would put bracket, then colon, cook, no spaces, and capital C. Because we named it capital.
Roger.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then close bracket.
Uh-huh.
And so that right there is what it will use to know that this next part is not for you. You have your prompt, and what follows is going to go to Cook. And right now it can handle both the PID for Cook or its name. But for now, since the name is present for us. We don't have to go and search it in its details. We can keep on track and say, then cook. And this part, we will say, take the suggested meal and give me the recipe to make it.
And so right now, I have to type this in. But
Yes.
in the future, we're going to have Squadron AI have the waiter pass that along automatically, right? We're like, me as the user, I'm not going to command the waiter and the cook. I'm only going to command the waiter, correct?
Right. You can you can just command the waiter, and like I said, use natural language to say, and then tell cook, and then hand this off to cook, hand this answer to cook.
Right. Exactly.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's what.
And for the users, what I want them to think about is like an arrow being drawn from waiter to cook. This is the communication route, and there will be a response. But okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click send now, correct?
Yes.
All right. And it's going to take a little bit, so.
What's going to happen for this is we'll see the response for waiter in its chat since we have it open. It's also going to tell us in addition to that response that if it successfully passes it along to cook, it's going to say that I also handed off this prompt to cook. It's going to say that at the very end. It's going to say hand it off to cook.
Okay.
And it's going to let us know that. And once it's done, we can see what it says, and then we can then go to cook's chat, and in its chat, it will give its response to what was just handed off to it from waiter.
Sweet. So just because of my hardware, it's just going to take a little bit, so we'll go ahead and wait. So, got any updates?
The other thing is that, well, because we were talking about that as well, because I was wondering about, well, if it brings it here and then it shows it over there, we were talking about, should we have a chat for that as well? So that way, it's like a general chat, so it can show you put in this prompt and waiter responded, and then cook responded to that. So you can see that chain of events right there as it goes along, rather than it being in only their chats separated. You can see the full actions going along. So that's something that we discussed that we can add in to this as a feature as well.
Yeah, because like one of my major concerns is like what we're doing right now. Remember, this is just R&D. Right now, we are actually telling the waiter what to tell the cook. There's no agency in that. These are AI agents, right? We really want the waiter to kind of, we want to delegate that work to the waiter. But then it's like, okay, what happens when we have a squadron of 20 agents and they have agency? Why do I want to be bouncing around delegating work to each? Like I could. Maybe that happens at your work, right? Like you have a team lead and they go to each person. But so Ruben and I were talking about, wouldn't that be really cool if we could just talk to, like we could just, send out an order, right? And then the squadron will take that order and they will execute. And is that really possible with the hardware we have? We don't know yet. But that's why we're doing this R&D now. And once we figure it out, it will go in the product. So, all right. I'm going to check to see if Cook received anything. Nope, nothing yet. Yeah, so it's really just waiting.
So we also, some other features that I did add into it was in the monitoring tabs was showing the system performance and the model performance of how it's going. So you can see a meter or a tab as well. And so
and we got it.
It gave a response.
All right, so let's go ahead and read it out. So the agent says, sure, how about a grilled chicken or avocado salad with lemon vinaigrette? It's healthy, delicious, and easy to prepare meal. Ingredients: 2 boneless. I'm not going to read all the ingredients. But it says enjoy, hand it off to the cook at the bottom. Okay.
Yes. So now when we go to cook, we should see also at the very top a similar annotation where it's going to say from waiter. So that way, if you put in if you give it an initial prompt, for example, you just want to give it a little bit more detail, it will give a response to that. But then if you were to see this other response come up, it doesn't look correct, because it would say, it seems like I gave it a prompt, it gave me an answer and another answer, but I added in the from waiter, so that way you know, well, I'm also communicating with waiter. So if you give me a prompt, but also since you gave something through waiter and it's handing it down through agency, that's where this is coming from. So it also has that there, so you can track it in the chat as well.
Yep. And so is there anything else as far as this R&D session?
That's it for this, and also, and to show that it passed it along, and it gave the prompt to Cook with the context, so that way it knows, here's the recipe, now generate a recipe. So that way it doesn't hand off an arbitrary prompt and it says create a recipe, and it just comes up with a recipe on its own. It followed through with what was handed to it. So that's also what we wanted to demonstrate, that this agent to agent communication was, it followed through with, here's the prompt and here's context as well.
Yeah, dude, really good job. Like, so when Ruben and I talked about this, I pretty much told him, hey, you know, we need to prove this works. Don't add, like, if you go look at, you know, Gumloop is the one that I'm super interested in, but if you look at N8N or Make.com or just all these other agent software, you see all these lines and they all connect and all these agents only do like one thing. But I'm really obsessed with AI agency, right? You call them an agent, I want them to be an agent. So what I told Ruben is, hey, can we just prove we can have these agents talk to each other through prompts? And so he went and did that. So what's the so what? This allows us to do delegation. This allows you to delegate to an AI agent, and that agent can delegate to other agents. So now what we need to do is, you know, figure out, how do we set those relationships? We wanted to do the hard part first. The hard part is not drawing a line and setting a line of communication. The hard part is actually passing the prompt to the other agent, and we need to work on response, right? So yeah, this is really good work, Ruben. There's more work to be done that they're going to see. They're going to see the relationships. They're going to see the responses, two-way communication, multi-way communication. But we're not there yet. But I'm super excited for what this can do. So do you have any other updates of things you're working on right now?
This one and doing a little bit more tweaking on it to make sure that, you know, in the background it does optimal performance at the same time, because like you said, we don't know how well it's going to work on the hardware level, and that's one thing that I'm looking into, is making sure that it works, it optimizes on your system, and that how far we can take this. Can we do one agent or more agents? And right now it's linear, but right now I'm going to work on, can it kind of split? Can we say split to two agents, or can we just do one agent to another agent and pass it along in a chain? So that's what I'm going to be looking at next.
All right. So thanks again, Ruben. So, hey, anyone who hung around and actually watched this demo all the way through, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We appreciate your support. We appreciate you being interested in this system, in this product, in this company. Please like, subscribe, follow, hit that bell, do all the YouTube stuff. It really helps us out. It really helps us get this product to more people. We really do think we can change the industry. We really do think we can change how work is done and how AI delegation is done, and how AI agents can have more agency to get really hard problems done. So please support us. Please follow. Go to our website, mysquadron.ai. Jump on the waiting list. We'll give you a fat discount. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.